The Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network is proud to present Old Dominion Athletic Conference basketball from inside Turner Gymnasium on the campus of the University of Lynchburg. The Hornets 6-6, 1-5 in the ODAC, hosting the Randolph-Macon Yellow Jackets. 8-3, 5-0, undefeated in conference. And we think we have got a good one to start out 2024. Happy New Year, Hoops fans. My name is Kyle Haney, hanging out with you on LHSN. We've got a crowd that is building inside Turner Gymnasium. Wayne Prophet Court is going to be the site of the action tonight. And it is a Randolph-Macon team that is undefeated in conference. They've been off for 15 days. They beat Guilford 75-50 back on December 17th. Lynchburg has been playing great basketball as of late. We'll get into that here in just a moment. There you see the tail of the tape coming into today. Lynchburg scores more. They give up more points. They're playing at a little bit of a higher pace, up-tempo basketball, and that is what Coach Allison Nichols wants for Randolph-Macon. They really hang their hat on that defensive identity, holding opponents to just 50.9 points per game this season. They've held opponents to 60 or less 8 times, and obviously it's a Randolph-Macon team that can score the basketball as well. But that defensive identity, you see the rebounding numbers in there as well. Pretty good stuff for Randolph-Macon, a well-rounded club. They have had some injury issues, but they're pressing onward and upward, in the words of their head coach, Lindsey Burke. Got to chat with her via email, and she is excited about the game tonight, and she did notice those eye-popping scores from the Lynchburg Hornets. For both squads, it might start with point guard play. That's our featured players of the game, players to watch. For Randolph-Macon, it'll be their freshman point guard, Sam Smith, 4th in the conference in assists per game. She's got the best assist-to-turnover ratio in conference, taking care of the basketball. Sam Smith can score a little bit as well, a real do-it-all point guard for Randolph-Macon. So she'll be fun to watch. And there's our player to watch on the other side, her point guard counterpart, Sayer Brandstatter, a grad student, a transfer from Roanoke. And she is a stat sheet stuffer. She does a little bit of everything for Lynchburg. She leads the ODAC in assists per game. But she also leads this team in rebounding, 2nd in points. She's up there in steals. She'll get a block here or there. She actually doesn't even lead the team in minutes played either. Getting a lot of production out of the 5th-year grad student, Sayer Brandstatter. And the list does not stop there, but we'll keep an eye on the guard play for sure. We'll keep an eye on the three-point shooting. Lynchburg's been filling it up from long distance as of late. But Randolph-Macon can shoot it from outside as well. They've got the 3rd best three-point percentage in conference. Looks like it's national anthem time here inside Turner. We're back with hoops in just a moment on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
Look what you're missing.
It really don't matter to me. I'm just happy to be here. I might go crazy.
Lynchburg is all about you, your ideas, and your goals. We've got one professor for every 10 students, so you can get all the support you need. In the classroom, in the lab, or in nature. You'll learn by putting yourself out there, and we're right there with you.
Private education is too expensive? Think again. At the University of Lynchburg, you can get a personalized education for the cost of a state school. If you're commuting and you get our top scholarships, you could pay much less. And you get all that without the hassle of giant lecture halls. Our faculty know your name here and do more than just teach. You might even do research together and plan out your next career moves. Want to have some outdoor adventures while getting a degree at the same time? At the University of Lynchburg, we have an on-campus zip line and ropes course. Plus, we offer adventure trips that cost less than a cup of coffee. And did I mention our beautiful scenery? We're a university for students looking for something more than just books. Welcome to your new adventure experience.
Welcome back inside Turner Gymnasium, basketball fans, and we'll say Happy New Year and Happy Holidays once again from everybody here at LHSN and the University of Lynchburg. We're getting set for ODAC hoops between the Randolph-Macon Yellow Jackets and the Lynchburg Hornets. Here come the starters for Randolph-Macon. It'll be freshman guard number 1, Sam Smith, who we already mentioned in our introduction. Number 4, another freshman guard, Bella Bruce. They're joined in the starting lineup by junior Marissa Ziegler and a sophomore, Jane Elkins. Jane Elkins has some eye-popping stats. We'll get to those in just a moment. And we've got number 35, Juliana Park, a junior, rounding out the starting 5 for Randolph-Macon, coached by Lindsay Burke in her 4th season. A ton of success already, 51 wins in those 3+ years, and 39-5 is the ODAC record under Lindsay Burke. Starting lineup for the Lynchburg Hornets, it's a similar one. Number 3, sophomore guard from Gate City, Virginia, Macy Mullins. The grad student from Springfield, New Jersey, the guard Sayer Brandstatter. Number 23, senior Sammy Sever, one of 2 seniors on the roster. Number 24, sophomore Brooke Kaysen, who's got some sneaky good numbers from beyond the three-point arc and more. And Bree Spainauer, sophomore, who you just saw touch it there at the right high post. Now it's Sever driving baseline, cut off. The defense from Randolph-Macon is very good. It is usually a man-to-man. They guard it pretty tight, 1 through 5. Mullins got inside, lost the handle, taken away by the freshman guard, Sam Smith. Smith heads the other direction and taps the brakes. First time Randolph-Macon will touch the basketball, and it's kicked out of bounds by Bree Spainauer, who was hustling back to defend the paint. Just 32 seconds into the ball game. And it is a game that for Lynchburg confidence is very high. It would still probably go down as an upset for sure, but Lynchburg has been playing good basketball. A record-setting day against Wilson, 104-46. That was a program record in points as Sayer Brandstatter prized the ball free and gets a steal. Long pass into the front court to Brooke Kaysen. A record-setting day against Wilson in points and three-pointers. I believe assists for Lynchburg, also setting a career mark there. Then they turned around less than 24 hours later, went on the road and beat a pretty good and athletic North Carolina Wesleyan team, 89-59, a 30-point win. And that doesn't even tell the whole story. Lynchburg went down 9-0 in that game against Wesleyan. And it was a third quarter to remember for Lynchburg where they really took charge on the road against the battling Bishops. New task here, though, long three-pointer up, bricked off the iron, but then you see good glass work by the sophomore Jane Elkins. She is talented, and she pulls down 9.5 boards per game. She's got season highs of 19 rebounds and did that twice. She'll set the high ball screen, and the hard-charging Juliana Park ran over a defender. That was Bree Spainauer, but Spainauer is going to get whistled for the foul. He'll be the first in the ball game, and it will send the junior Juliana Park to the free throw line to shoot 2, a 76% free throw shooter coming into the ball game. That's another thing that Randolph-Macon does really well. They cash in from the charity line. As Park does make the first. Right on cue. Second one off the iron, rebounded by Jane Elkins again. She'll try again. No good, and there's a traveling violation as Bella Bruce got the rebound, but then just couldn't keep the feet. And it'll be Lynchburg basketball. Down early, 1-0. It's one of those situations where statistically, if Lynchburg scores here, you get a lead change, but really it's hard to even quantify that when you're only down 1. Set play coming for Lynchburg. That'll be interesting to watch, see how many sets Coach Allison Nichols calls, and watch out, Bree Spainauer will stop you right in mid-sentence with the three-pointer. There is that early lead change from Bree Spainauer. Just her second triple of the season, Lynchburg shoots them a lot. Here's a steal in the front court by Sammy Sever to the rim. Got fouled, and Sever's going to have 2 freebies coming up. Yeah, but Bree Spainauer not exactly first on your scouting report of three-point shooters. But she will shoot it just like the rest of this Lynchburg team. They make 7.7 threes per game on average. They attempt 24.8. Randolph-Macon pretty proficient at shooting the three as well, although they take about 3 less per game on average. Southpaw Sever makes the first and the second. Good job there. Lynchburg up 4 with 7:40 remaining in quarter number 1. Some full court man-to-man pressure from the Hornets. Keep an eye on the defensive coverages for Lynchburg. Coach Nichols likes to talk about the different ways that they'll play the screens. And we've seen Lynchburg use some zones here in the last month or so. Lynchburg was 3-3 in the month of December, 6-6 on the season, but 1-5 in ODAC play. And they have played some tougher teams, some of the tougher teams in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. Washington and Lee comes to mind. And we've got some other ODAC games today and tonight that we'll talk about maybe briefly. I think this one's going to steal most of the spotlight, though. We won't have to worry about talking about other games. Good stingy defense here from Lynchburg. Three-pointer up, three-pointer in. Juliana Park, the 5'10 junior from Fairfax Station, Virginia, knocks it down. 1 of 8 from the Commonwealth for Randolph-Macon. And the Yellow Jackets are back within 1. Macy Mullins will line one up. Bit too strong, hit the back plate. Rebounded by Jane Elkins. She is already doing a number on the glass for Randolph-Macon. Spin move from the freshman Sam Smith. Official didn't like the footwork there and calls that a traveling violation. Olivia Harris in the game for Lynchburg. First sub off the bench for either ball club. The Lynchburg Hornets lead by 1 as Brandstetter just walks across the timeline, middle, bounces to Brooke Kaysen. Mullins will come open on the set play again. No good. Back to Mac misses there for Macy Mullins, who led the conference in three-point shooting percentage last year. Hasn't quite found the touch this season. But you have that feeling that she's going to break out at any point, she being Macy Mullins. Mullins will come out for a breather. And speaking of players that can shoot it from 3 and have found the touch, this is Ashley Vandergrift. Vandergrift missed most of the season up until the game against Wilson with injury. She came alive. She hit 5 3-pointers, including a very long one. And speaking of long, that's Brooke Kaysen knocking down the triple. She leads this team in three-point percentage. Form like that, you can see why. Great rotation, great defense there by Bree Spainauer to close the fortress inside. Looking for the post entry to Elkins. Vandergrift going to try it here, wide right. Nice athletic rebound up high by Elkins. Wow, look at her on the floor, too. Impressive stuff there. Park travel. 3 traveling violations here in this first quarter by Randolph-Macon. I don't know if you quite want to attribute that to the rust just yet. It has been a 15-day layoff for Randolph-Macon. Not uncommon at all in college basketball to have an extended break over the holidays. But yeah, early three-point shooting on display here for Lynchburg. We thought that would be part of the theme. Vandergrift will come free, and then she is whistled for a traveling violation. So there's an early storyline developing in that the officials are keeping a keen eye on the footwork tonight, it would appear. It's one thing that I think young players and maybe even young coaches struggle with is adjusting to the refs and what they're calling. Rather than complaining about it, just make an adjustment. Try to be a little bit cleaner with the footwork. Speaking of clean, Jane Elkins knocking down the 14-footer. That was nice. That brings Randolph-Macon back within 2. Macon is in their road black and yellow. Lynchburg in the home whites. Sayer Brandstetter with a long 3. Never drew iron, and that skips out of play. More subs coming into the game, and we get our first media timeout. Under 5-minute timeout here with the first quarter score. Lynchburg leading 8-6 over Randolph-Macon on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
Tim Slusser from the Outdoor Leadership Program gave a presentation at a teaching and learning resources conference here about getting his program more involved on the academic side of campus. I mentioned computers and mapping, and he mentioned caving, and eventually we came up with the idea of mapping caves.
So the week before, we were able to learn how to use the instruments kind of like on a flat surface and just kind of get a hang of how they work. But it was really amazing how once we got in the cave, it was a completely different experience using them.
It was unique. It got most of us out of our comfort zone, kind of gave us a new
Early three-point shooting on display for the Lynchburg Hornets. They've been doing that a lot more lately. They make over 7.5 per game, but remember it was a program record 16 threes against Wilson. The next day against North Carolina Wesleyan, they knocked down 12 from outside. Already 2 triples today. That was Bree Spainauer making the first. And Brooke Kaysen hit a long one. 2 other free throws from Sammy Sever. That's the 8 points right now for the Lynchburg Hornets, who lead 8-6 as Kate Velez rims off the first free throw for the Yellow Jackets. So we're basically a little bit more than midway through that first quarter, and you really are starting to see a lot of those things that we discussed coming to fruition, which is always nice as a broadcaster. But yeah, the three-point shooting from Lynchburg, stingy player-to-player or man-to-man defense for Randolph-Macon. Good size inside. The rebounding edge seems to be going to Macon right now. Darcy Ross got trapped in the paint, ejected it back out to Vandergrift, but then the basketball goes backcourt, and that's a turnover for Lynchburg. Beg your pardon. Yeah, that is Darcy Ross in the game there. I'm sorry, fans. Number 32, Darcy Ross. Junior, 5'10" forward for Lynchburg. Letty Michael has also checked in for the Hornets, wearing number 33. Good defensive coverage there by Olivia Harris. Olivia Harris is a junior on this team, and she's had some different roles throughout her career, but I think she's embracing this coming off the bench, 3 and D kind of role. She'll try to get a hand on that, won't get there, and there's your second lead change, I believe, of the evening with Kate Velez getting it in on the layup. 9-8, Jackets back on top by 1. Another set piece coming for the Hornets. Ross just right of center, bounces inside to Letty Michael, and that one is kicked away. Lynchburg will restart. 20 more seconds on the shot clock. Here comes Macy Mullins back in the game. She'll replace Ashley Vandergrift. It's Ross, Mullins, Michael, Brandstatter, and Harris. 5 out there for Lynchburg. Brandstatter tossed it in long. Macy Mullins had it poked away by Kate Velez. And there's that stingy defense from Randolph-Macon. It doesn't result in a turnover, but it forces Lynchburg and Macon's opponents in general to have to work so hard just to get the ball in. A lot of times on those baseline inbound plays, coaches want to score on those. So not only do you take away a bucket, you make them have to throw it long in the backcourt and try to get something going that way. Too strong on a left wing three-pointer from Olivia Harris. One and done there for Lynchburg as the rebounding continues to be good for the Yellow Jackets. They're in the front court left, sporting a 1-point advantage. Here's Elkins, free throw line, jab step, driving down the left alleyway and scoring on Ross. Jane Elkins, 6'1" sophomore from Annandale. Averages 13 points per game, 9.5 rebounds. And she's showcasing the whole package now. Knocked down a little mid-range jumper earlier, so you have to respect that if you're Ross. And she could put it on the floor and drive you as well. That's pretty good. Now Mullins will drive on Elkins and got fouled, dumped to the deck. That should be in the act of shooting. And so that's a way to sometimes neutralize those big players inside. Try to get them to rack up a few fouls. Attack, go to center mass. Elkins, as you can see, though, is a shot blocker as well. She's second in conference in rebounds right now, Jane Elkins. Macy Mullins will shoot 2 from the line. As Lynchburg now trailing by 3. Mullins, a right-handed shooting sophomore from Gate City, Virginia. Gate City High School. Ton of great athletes out of Gate City. The list is so numerous, we probably shouldn't even get it started, especially not in a close game. Mullins will knock down one of two. That trip, Lynchburg is back within two. Some full court zone pressure coming from Lynchburg. It looked like Casey Kelly is in the game for the Hornets. Bree Spainhour checking back in for Lynchburg as well. Velez will run off the high ball screen. Now it's Sam Smith, left wing. Good pass to get it through a couple players there. Too strong in the shot. Letty Michael will pick up after a couple bounces. She got tripped up, and that'll be a foul. Should be the third team foul on Randolph-Macon. The foul is the first on number 1, Sam Smith, who will come out for a breather. And it'll be number 23, Marissa Ziegler, back in for the Yellow Jackets. Another set play coming, 1-4 low construction there for Lynchburg. They pass left wing to Olivia Harris, drives but can't come up with anything on the slash and dash. Lynchburg hustling back to defend the basket to our left. Another high lob post entry. Missed from point blank range, but the second chance try does go for number 35, Juliana Park. Seeing that size advantage for Randolph-Macon. And as mentioned, the rebounder. Sometimes it's as simple as that, just being in the right place at the right time. Kind of can call it following your shot, but on a close range look like that for Park, the ball's just kind of be right there where you were at anyway when it comes off. Brooke Kaysen checking back into the game for Lynchburg. Another inbound play here from the baseline right coming for the Lynchburg Hornets. Let's see how tough Randolph-Macon gets it or makes it for Lynchburg to get it in this time. Casey Kelly pops free. Thought about a mid-ranger. Bounce pass taken away by Juliana Park. Yeah, Randolph-Macon is really just seemingly dominating the action inside the painted area so far. Lynchburg has scored 3-pointers and they've scored free throws. And there's Juliana Park again. High lob post entry from the right wing. You throw it over the defense. Park catches, turns, and she's right in front of the rim for another deuce. See how the Hornets try to take that away defensively, and we'll see if Lynchburg can get anything going in the paint themselves. Lane touch right there, but then Brooke Kaysen took too many steps without a dribble, and that's a turnover. 15-9, Randolph-Macon on top by 6 at the moment. Don't want to oversimplify it. Don't want to say the size and everything going on inside is the only reason Randolph-Macon has got the lead right now, but it's a big part of it. Long three uncorked by Juliana Park. That's no good. Jump ball, mutual possession tie-up coming. That was number 23, Marissa Ziegler. It got locked on with Macy Mullins. Possession arrow favoring the Yellow Jackets here with 34.5 left on the clock. Officials with a short discussion before letting Marissa Ziegler hit the restart button. Actually, pardon me, that's Kate Velez. Put it back in play for Randolph-Macon. Into Bella Bruce, back to Velez. Park wants to drive on Casey Kelly. Bree Spainhour took some flack, took a shot to the head, kind of had to shake something off out of her eyes, I think, but she's back in the mix. There's a rebound by Brooke Kaysen. Kaysen will turn and run. It's picked up at the timeline by Kate Velez. Olivia Harris directing traffic out front. Bounces high right point to Macy Mullins. Mullins crossover using the screen from Casey Kelly, but it's stripped out of there by Juliana Park. Buzzer beater try on the way. And actually the buzzer never went off. Lynchburg's got 0.1 on the clock. Really not enough time for a catch and shoot or anything. You'd have to throw it all the way to the rim and tip it in, and Lynchburg will simply white flag it there and end the first quarter. Good one overall. Yellow Jackets getting the best of it at the moment. They lead 15-9 after 10 minutes on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
Tim Slusser from the Outdoor Leadership Program gave a presentation at a Teaching and Learning Resources Conference here about getting his program more involved on the academic side of campus. I mentioned computers and mapping, and he mentioned caving, and eventually we came up with the idea of mapping caves.
So the week before we were able to learn how to use the instruments kind of like on a flat surface and just kind of get a hang of how they work. But it was really amazing how once we got in the cave, it was a completely different experience using them.
It was unique. It got most of us out of our comfort zone, kind of gave us a new experience, a new taste of something new. But I think the most difficult parts were getting the lighting right. You had to read the instruments with the headlamps while keeping your eye pointed on the plot point.
This allowed them to actually literally get their hands dirty, collecting data, conducting measurements, and putting all that together in the form of a map, and doing it in a place that's never been mapped before.
Randolph-Macon leading Lynchburg 15-9 after one quarter of play. Kyle Haney hanging out with you, Hoops fans. Happy New Year once again. Everything we talked about is backed up statistically. Randolph-Macon winning the rebounding battle right now, 14-4. 7 offensive rebounds, 7 defensive rebounds for the Yellow Jackets. They've got 10 of their 15 points in the paint. Lynchburg has no points in the paint thus far. Sammy Sever, right wing catch, couple dribbles. Now it's left wing for Olivia Harris. That three-pointer is in and out. Bree Spainauer ripping a rebound free, but can't close the deal from the left side. And that would have been Lynchburg's best chance to score downstairs. But Spainauer can't cash in. 15-9, Jackets with a good defensive stand there. Gave up an offensive rebound. Just see how tough they are inside. Traveling violation on Jane Elkins after a catch. I believe that's 5 traveling violations now. So we talked about the officials. Now, as a player and a coach, you kind of have to adjust to them. The baseball analogy would be adjusting to the umpire's strike zone, right? Similar stuff happens in basketball, and I think those players that can adjust quicker, they end up having success in the long run. Olivia Harris driving, paint, found a cutting Sammy Sever. Good job by Sammy Sever to get to the right area there. Come down into the paint following that baseline drive from Olivia Harris. Found a soft spot in the defense. And there's the first bucket inside for Lynchburg. Elkins going to spin. Good sturdy defense there by Spainauer to wall up, but Elkins just shot it right over Bree Spainauer. Jane Elkins putting together a good first half so far. Jackets lead 17-11. Sarah Brandstetter will just go down to first gear and walk it across the timeline into the front court right. Lynchburg scoring on the basket closest to the entrance here at Turner Gymnasium. Offensive foul on Bree Spainauer. She dipped that shoulder a little bit, trying to make a rack attack there from lane line left. Bree Spainauer's second personal foul. First one on Lynchburg in the quarter. Like the aggressiveness from Bree Spainauer. I don't think you hate that as a coach at all. And I know Coach Allison Nichols wants Bree Spainauer to be aggressive. Sure, there's a limit. There's always a limit. But I think overall, you probably don't hate that from Bree Spainauer. Don't like the fact that she already had one foul in her pocket. Elkins from 13, got it. Jane Elkins, what a sophomore, is putting on a show early. Scoring inside, scoring from the mid-range. Triple try short from Brooke Kaysen. Ball out of play is going to go back to Lynchburg, though. Sam Smith was our featured player earlier in the game, the freshman point guard for Randolph-Macon. It's a young Macon team. Smith is a freshman. Number 4, Bella Bruce, a freshman. We've seen her in the mix quite a bit. Jane Elkins is a sophomore. And if you've been watching the game at all, you know we've been talking about Jane Elkins. Taylor Brown checked in for Lynchburg and had a ball just slip right through her fingertips. Turnover there. 19-11. Jackets by 8. Smith will handle the reins on a handoff play over there to Ziegler on the left side. Good ball movement, good pop passing, good player movement from Randolph-Macon as well. Offensively sound. How about a three-pointer in from Bella Bruce? Shot it right over the outstretched arm of Sammy Sever. I think the closeout was pretty good for Sever, but Bruce just lined it up perfectly. Macon doubling up Lynchburg at the moment, 22-11. Lynchburg down 11. Not anymore as Brooke Kaysen will uncork one from the right side. Jackpot there. That's Brooke Kaysen's second three-pointer of the contest. gives Lynchburg a much-needed bucket. Jane Elkins, yeah, she'll just wade into the paint, right low post, window, down for 2 more. Running out of accolades already for the sophomore Jane Elkins. Lynchburg down 10. Sever, driving, cut off by Juliana Park. Now it's Brooke Kaysen. How about another three-pointer? Thank you very much, Brooke Kaysen. 3rd triple of the first half. And it's really keeping Lynchburg in the fight here against the Yellow Jackets. Stay hot, Brooke Kaysen. I think if you're Lynchburg, you want to try to get her a look again next time down. Sam Smith will try to score. Got hit on the biceps and shoulders, it looked like, on the way up. Foul is on Olivia Harris, her first, team 2nd in the quarter for Lynchburg. Kate Velez back in the game. Emian Byers in as well, sophomore. Velez is a junior. Back to the youth. One senior on the roster for Randolph-Macon, and that's Catherine Kagi. She's out with injury. So it is the definition of a young team for Randolph-Macon. In and out on the second one, but Smith got her own rebound after a pinball. Looks around, now she'll drive, bounce pass inside. Olivia Harris had the right idea to try to block it from behind, but that's another foul. Harris has picked up 2 within a matter of about 10 seconds. This is number 2, Emian Byers on the free throw line, 6'1" sophomore from Louisa County, Virginia. Macy Mullins is back in for Lynchburg. She joins Darcy Ross, Sayer Brandstatter, Brooke Kaysen, and Sammy Sever as the 5 out for the Hornets at the moment. Jane Elkins has 10 of the 25 for Randolph-Macon. Almost feels like more. Yellow Jackets win a loose ball back, and now a jump ball tie-up is going to, on the possession arrow, return it to Randolph-Macon. Jane Elkins has 6 rebounds. Really impressive stuff for Jane Elkins. Randolph-Macon. There's a knife right through the defense from number 12, Kate Velez. She'll score the basket. And now Lynchburg down 10 again. Brandstetter gonna drive into the corner for Mullins. Darcy Ross with a 17-footer. Got that one. Lynchburg loves the mid-range. They love the long range as well. We've talked about the three-point shooting from Lynchburg quite a bit, but they can really fill it up from the mid-range too. Makes it tough to defend. And then when you get something going inside, Lynchburg is really just a well-rounded, well-oiled offensive machine. However, the Hornets have not gotten much production inside today. Ball got knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with Randolph-Macon. A little bit of protest from the Lynchburg bench, but not a ton. It's Macon inbounds. Partially blocked there. Nice work inside by Brooke Kaysen. Listed as a guard, but really defended the post area nicely on that possession. Macy Mullins going to try a three-pointer again. No good. Loose ball is going to stay with Lynchburg. Here's our next under 5-minute media timeout for the second quarter. We'll step aside for a breather as well with the score. Randolph-Macon 27, Lynchburg 19 on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. 4:52 remaining in half number one. It's Randolph-Macon 27, Lynchburg 19. We had the 2 lead changes in the first quarter. Lynchburg won, quote unquote, won the first portion of quarter number one, first 5 minutes or so, and then Randolph-Macon with a really good fight back. Since then, Yellow Jackets in control. Macy Mullins had it poked free as she was driving in the paint. Again, Randolph-Macon continues to be very, very good in the man-to-man defense and just in the paint in general. Here's Park driving, reverse lay-in, try, out of play. And it looked like last touch off of Jane Elkins. That's kind of old school basketball when you think about it, fans. It was dominate the lane, dominate the painted area. Of course, here at Lynchburg, it's actually unpainted in the lane there, but dominate that, dominate around the basket. Basketball's a proximity game. The closer you get to the hoop, the higher the percentages should be. So you take that away, you force teams to play from the mid-range more and outside. Darcy Ross, good footwork and the fadeaway. Shot doesn't go, but she got hit on the way up and will shoot 2. This is number 32, junior Darcy Ross. Covington, Virginia, one of 9 from the Commonwealth for Lynchburg. That was a good little mid-post move there. Tried to get it all the way to the basket, but you know that's going to get taken away sometimes. Ross did a nice job to go to the post move and confidence with the fadeaway. Gotta like to see that. This is the first. 4:07 left to play in quarter number 2. Ross missed both. Rebounded by the freshman guard, Sam Smith. She'll hustle into the front court, now tap the brakes and let the team get set up. Smith, here comes another wing handoff play. Randolph-Macon has initiated a lot of their offensive sets with that. Drive coming from Ziegler, off the window and rim, no good. Sammy Sever's going to come out of the fire with it after a pass from Kaysen. Now Sayer Brandstatter will slow things down and walk it across the timeline. Brandstatter calls the play, dribbles off the high ball screen. This is Kaysen. 2-hand pass overhead. Now Sammy Sever for 3, no good. Rebounded by Letty Michael. Good activity there. Michael sprints back outside to the perimeter to restart the possession for Lynchburg. Lynchburg didn't have the floor balanced. Everybody was left, maybe by design, though. As soon as I saw it, I saw the play there on the attack from Sayer Brandstatter, and then Darcy Ross rolled to that open area right. That might have been by design for Lynchburg. Typically, you don't want to have all 5 on one side of the court overloaded like that. Lynchburg seemed to make it work. Here's Darcy Ross, line right again for 2 more. She just missed 2. We might be joined by a special halftime guest here. I think it's been confirmed. I think we're going to get to hear from our outstanding athletic director, John Waters, at halftime. So we'll look forward to that. Nice offensive rebound by Brooke Kaysen. Lynchburg going to rebuild another possession here. Kaysen for 3, right wing, off the mark. Letty battled for that rebound but couldn't get to it. Sammy Sever put up some resistance before the half-court stripe. Now Randolph-Macon will go inside. Right low post shot, and that is Juliana Park with some bang for her buck. A hoop, and she was fouled. 29-20. Randolph-Macon back up 9. Foul was on Brooke Kaysen. Her first, team's 4th. Next one puts Randolph-Macon in the bonus, or Lynchburg in the penalty, whichever term you prefer. Sammy Sever will angle in from the right sideline, got to the free throw line, then retreated back out. Lynchburg down 10 again. Been saying that a lot in this second quarter. Brooke Kaysen, another triple try. Nothing but nylon that time for Brooke Kaysen. 4 hits from outside for Brooke Kaysen. Lynchburg within 7. That's really been the only consistent scoring right now for Lynchburg. How about that? Pretty efficient turn and shoot from Juliana Park. Back to that proximity. You give it to her 2 feet in front of the basket, her percentage is going to be through the roof. Same with Jane Elkins, who we were raving about earlier. And Juliana Park's latest basket has Randolph-Macon back up 9. Brooke Kaysen, ready, aim, and fire. That one was off the mark and skips out of play. Love the confidence from Brooke Kaysen. Allison Nichols from the Lynchburg sideline having a little short convo with Brooke Kaysen there. And I don't even know that it was, hey, good shot or bad shot. It might have been about something completely different. Might have been about the defense here for Lynchburg. Ashley Vandergrift back in the game for the Hornets. There's a catch and shoot three for Randolph-Macon. No good. Rebounded by Brooke Kaysen, who seems to be everywhere in half number one. She'll one-hand it backwards to Sayer Brandstatter. Let her look over the chessboard. Lynchburg will set up their offensive play. Down to 90 seconds left in half number one. Brandstatter comes free for three, and she nails it from the right wing. Sayer Brandstatter knocking down a three-pointer. Lynchburg continuing to let it fly from outside. And you gotta say it's kept them in this ball game so far. 32-26. Sixth three-pointer of the evening for Lynchburg. Randolph-Macon has hit two triples for reference. It's another one on the way. It might have been a long two, actually. Offensive rebound, and Brooke Kaysen with a block. Brooke Kaysen is filling up the stat sheet here. Brooke Kaysen, a 5'8" sophomore from Fishersville, Virginia. She's actually got the highest three-point percentage in the team, and it would be the highest in the conference if she had enough attempts to qualify. But maybe after tonight, Brooke Kaysen will be at the top of the ODAC charts in three-point shooting percentage. We'll have to see. Here comes a three-pointer from Juliana Park. Never hit iron. Pulled out of the sky by Letty Michael. Lynchburg with a real chance, I think, to gain some momentum here as the first half ends. Nice little mini run from the Hornets. Here's Kaysen. She'll work off the screen from Brandstatter. Two-player game at the top. See if Lynchburg can get a third player involved here in the sequence. Not going to be needed, though, as Brandstatter, turned the corner and found herself wide open for a lay-in and missed that. You could tell by the body language she wanted that back. I think she'd back herself to make that 9 out of 10, maybe even at a higher rate than that. But basketball's a funny game. Missed that one. Down to 7 to play in the half. Don't know if Macon is aware of the clock or not. Park had it poked free. Now she does see it. Turns and shoots and scores. It didn't look like a great possession for Randolph-Macon, but they get a basket at the buzzer to go back up 8. 34-26. Yellow Jackets on top. Let's just keep it right here and chat with our special guest right now. We don't need to go to a break here. We'll put we'll put our athletic director, John Waters, on the headset right now. I don't know if we're going to be able to hear each other, Mr. Waters, but let's do the best. Let's do the best that we can. Our outstanding athletic director.
So can you hear me at all?
I can just hear you outside the headset.
Okay.
All right, let's take a break, and we'll get our technical issues ironed out, potentially. Our score at half is Randolph-Macon 34, Lynchburg 26 on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. 100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it.
We return to Turner Gymnasium on the campus of the University of Lynchburg. Basketball between Randolph-Macon and Lynchburg. Yellow Jackets leading 34-26. And we've got our special guest, the athletic director for the University of Lynchburg, Mr. John Waters. And Mr. Waters, well, first of all, happy holidays. How was the Christmas break?
It was wonderful. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for taking some time during these holidays and early January times to call some of our games and kind of bring a little excitement to the gym during the time where we don't have our students here.
It's still a lot of fun, even with a smaller crowd. I think we got a lot more people watching on LHSN, though,
I'm sure,
too,
absolutely.
obviously. Hey, let's rewind and talk about that very successful fall season. It was just so many moments to remember out there on Schellenberger, inside here, Turner, the cross-country team with major success. Talk about the fall season and a high finish for us in the fall in the Learfield Cup, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're feeling really, really good about the direction of our programs overall, and the types of students that we're able to interact with right now are really, really dialed in really on just about every aspect of life. And that really carries over to their success in their selected sport. So really blessed here at the University of Lynchburg with a phenomenal coaching staff and their ability to attract high-level student athletes that really want to be successful in all aspects of their life, really, has really carried over to some amazing moments in competition, overall. I think that a lot of this past semester, is really a byproduct of some great vision from our coaches 2 years ago, 3 years ago, as they put teams together, as they really worked to craft the right schedules and get everything dialed in to really create a situation for some magical moments to happen.
Yeah, it is a standard that I think you set very high from even top in your position. I know you're not going to give yourself any credit, but I'll give you a little bit of credit there. Back to those coaches, it's such a unique mix because you got some great young coaches on campus. You have some talented veteran coaches. Of course, we got to say goodbye to Enza Steele. Not goodbye, but at least to the coaching portion. She's going to be around campus, I'm sure. But talk about what a legendary coach Coach Steele is, and it'll be a new opportunity for a brand new coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're so blessed with a lot of depth in our coaching ranks. I think one of the best things we've done during my 10 years here is that we've built some second and third layers of coaches. Lynchburg historically has been a great proving ground for coaches through their grad assistant program, especially, in the world of soccer. There's just a legendary lineage throughout the country of people that have gone on and coached other places. That is so true now in field hockey in some ways. Look at men's lacrosse with Steve Kadelka and really the coaching tree that he's developed. That's served us and served our students really, really well. I think one of the key things from the fall is that every single team, even the ones that might not have had those championship moments, really had some great moments where they achieved. I was thinking about while I was watching Washington and Lee and our men play today, with our guys pushing them really hard for about 3/4 of the game, thinking back to the volleyball game here against Washington and Lee, where we upset Washington and Lee, who was number one in the conference at that time. Certainly women's soccer, got knocked out in the semis of the tournament, legendary program there. But just some incredible moments, and, those are the types of experiences that our students really springboard off of and, really begin to understand the value of all the work going in and really getting that payoff is really a good skill set that serves them well throughout their life.
Well, another thing that I think so many of our student athletes and coaches and fans love here at Lynchburg are these wonderful facilities. Give us some insight into that. New turf on Schellenberger Field, Moon Field, the softball field with some major upgrades. I know there's more to come. It's never a truly a finished product because once you get everything renovated, it's time to start doing more. But give the fans a little insight into how all that stuff went down.
No, that's great. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about that. I mean, we began a process several years ago where we came up with a concept that was 5 for the Hive and really trying to upgrade the fan experiences in all of our venues. Folks that have been around Lynchburg athletics for a long time loved standing and cheering and all of those things. Sometimes they had to stand because the seats weren't comfortable or there weren't enough seats or whatever. And so we really began with Schellenberger and put the video board out there, which is one of a kind, and we get just amazing compliments from prospective families and just a lot of really crazy looks from our peers overall who hate playing in that venue. But the video board at Shelley's been phenomenal and helped us interact and really enhance that magical experience overall. The seating at Turner was our second one just because it's such a great common space and a great gathering space for us. And then really our focus has been the next 3 facilities were softball, which we've made great strides on. Really, if you have not been out to softball in the last really 2 months, you're going to be blown away by what you see when you come for Coach Simmons' team getting started in February. Just a really special venue and one that I think has really probably ascended pretty close to the top of the conference, if not the region, in terms of quality and overall sight lines and fan experience. We'll finish the seating for that this coming summer, but the new press box and dugouts and all the rest of those things are in place. Working really, really hard on fundraising with baseball right now and working really hard with our tennis fundraising as well. So really those projects have been active. Our equestrian facility, the work that Philip and his program have done and the opportunity to really solidify their place in serving equestrian-minded students, that's been a great thing for us. So, our hope is that we'll get a great phase 1 start on baseball and still working to complete, kind of get to that first threshold on some tennis donors to move all of that forward, over this next few months.
We're chatting with Lynchburg Athletic Director John Waters. And before we let you go, what else do we need to say? What else do the fans need to know? There's a lot going on, and of course, our LHSN crew does a great job keeping everybody updated with the social media, the website, lynchburgsports.com. But I don't know, you want to talk about some basketball? Lynchburg got a comeback in them this second half.
Well,
not a major comeback, but
they definitely have a comeback in them. Both of our teams are very young, and not only new and young, but young overall. The women, I'm really excited about where they are and progress that they're making from last year, this year. And when you have shooters, you always have a chance. And so as a longtime basketball person, really excited about where they're headed and just the tenacity of the students and, how they're working things along. I think one of the cool things like this time of year, we've got so many programs that are now coming back and getting in motion. Swim left this morning for their training trip. So we've got about 60 people in Florida right now, really getting involved in their season. Golf has just had a phenomenal fall and, really looking forward to a lot of excitement with things in the spring. So, I think it's really probably by most any standards, you'd have to look and say that this stretch that we're in right now athletically is one of the best ever overall, and that this group of student athletes, the confidence and support from their families, but just as importantly, the support from donors and really all of the people that love us, have really paid off in a great way to serve our students in ways that they'll build off of really for the next 20 years of their life.
So well said right there. I think we're all guilty of doing that back in the day thing sometimes. But this feels like a golden era for Lynchburg athletics right now. And as you said, a chance to build and even make an even brighter future. And I think the sky is the limit for all these programs. All right, we'll let you run.
Sounds good. Thanks
Come
for
back.
having me
Let's
on.
do this again.
Absolutely.
We got to do this again. We'll step aside for another breather. We've got second half action on the way next between Randolph-Macon and Lynchburg. Women's basketball, Jackets leading 34-26 after 2 quarters.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time.
We return inside Turner Gymnasium on the campus of the University of Lynchburg. Getting set for the start of the third quarter between the Yellow Jackets of Randolph-Macon and the Lynchburg Hornets. Jackets on top, 34-26. We are getting set to start the third quarter. So that's the only thing about the graphic there. We'll figure that out. Some halftime scoring numbers for Randolph-Macon. Juliana Park with 15. Jane Elkins has 10 and 6 rebounds. Kate Velez, third scorer with 5 points for Lynchburg. 12 points from Brooke Kaysen. That's on 4 threes. She's also got 3 blocks and assists in there for Brooke Kaysen. 5 rebounds for Brooke Kaysen. What a stat line so far. Lynchburg trying to go inside early. Kaysen's pass was knocked away. Here come the Jackets the other direction. Yeah, Brooke Kaysen leading Lynchburg with 12. Sammy Sever has 4, and then 3 players with 3 points each. And that was sort of a theme as well for our first half. Lynchburg just unable to find much consistency on offense other than Brooke Kaysen and the 3-pointers. Lynchburg did hit 6 as a team. Bree Spainhour made a 3. Sarah Brandstatter 1 for 2 from beyond the arc. There's a rebound, second chance point try here, and converted by Jane Elkins. Stepped around the defender, finishing with the left. That's 9 second chance points now for Randolph-Macon. Lynchburg on the other side with just 1. The other eye-popping disparity is the points in the paint. Randolph-Macon now has 20. Lynchburg with just 2. Randolph-Macon's actually turned it over more. How about that? Spainhour going through, finishing on the right side of the steal. There's points in the paint for Lynchburg. You saw the Hornets try to go inside on their first possession of this third quarter. They went inside there, so that might have been a theme, a talking point in the locker room for Coach Allison Nichols. Park trying to wade through some dangerous waters, and she can't do it without a dribble. That's a violation there. Yeah, there you go. 8:35 left to play in the third quarter. How about that on the production? Our LHSN team is incredible. Here's Sammy Sever wheeling around the defender, getting fouled in the act of shooting. Our LHSN team has been absolutely incredible on this winter break. Sydney Metz on the camera. We were going to have the Mets Minute at halftime. And I guess we could still do it. I bet Metz could put on a headset and still do the camera work. But she has been really doing the hard work over break for LHSN. And we appreciate that. Sever missed the first free throw. Second one coming from the senior. Knocks that down. 36-29. Lynchburg down, but certainly not out. Handoff play as Smith comes through. Can't make it with the right-handed runner. Bree Spainhour on the rebound. She'll take the fast break herself. Now Sammy Sever triggering the three-pointer jackpot for Sever right in front of her own bench. Maybe a Lynchburg comeback is on right now. Hornets down by 4. Body contact from Macy Mullins as she got into the left hip of Marissa Ziegler. It is Mullins first and Lynchburg's first in this third quarter. 7:50 remaining in frame number 3. Here's Park on the inbound, lost it on the power dribble, now sends it to Elkins. Jab step, she'll pull up from the right mid-post, no good, rolls off. Rebound controlled by Sammy Sever. Sever through the traffic cones. Now it's back out to Brooke Kaysen. 4 3-pointers in the first half for Brooke Kaysen. You know we're going to see her shoot again. Oh, good high-low lob there. Inside from the right wing for Bree Spainhour. Lynchburg is within 2. Neither team has taken a timeout. Wonder if Lindsey Burt will burn one if Lynchburg were to tie this ball game up next time down, or maybe even take the lead with one of those threes. Smith will try a 3 of her own. High rebound tipped by Mullins and then controlled by Kaysen. Good teamwork there. Brooke Kaysen. She'll bring it down left of center. Bounces inside to Bree Spainhour, taken away by Elkins. Elkins lost the footing there. Tried to throw it off. Kaysen then got it back. Kicked by Sammy Sever. Yeah, good call there. I like the swarming amoeba-like defense from Lynchburg to just surround Elkins, who does have some handles. For a 6'1 sophomore, I think you got to argue Jane Elkins really handles it pretty good. That's probably high basketball IQ when you see the other team's post dribbling in the backcourt with her head down. Go ahead and send 2 or 3 defenders at her. Randolph-Macon will get into the front court right in those road black and lemon, sometimes they call that color, the black and yellow jersey for Randolph-Macon. Shot clock down to 5. Good defensive effort here for Lynchburg. Macon's got to go. They'll get the triple up, no good. Long rebound controlled in the corner by Ziegler. Ziegler thought about driving, cut off by Olivia Harris, who's in the game for Lynchburg. Defensively on court right now, Hornets, have Sever, Brandstatter, Kaysen, Spainhour, and Harris. Shot clock under 5 again for Randolph-Macon. Nice long possession. Elkins put up a wild one and hit the rim. Macon's going to get another chance. Tough there for Randolph-Macon. Scrambling around, using all the shot clock. You got to feel a little bit for Lynchburg defensively. They've been sound. Here we go. Shot clock to 5 again. Drive from Melez. She couldn't turn the corner. Jumper up, off the rim. Lynchburg will finally clear it. Olivia Harris catches and runs out of the fire with it. Oh, Harris was looking for Bree Spainhour, but Spainhour turned to get set. And that's a turnover, as you see. Spainhour and Harris kind of share a hug there. Blame pie. I guess each player gets a piece of that, but that's one that you see in basketball at all levels. Even in the NBA, occasionally you'll have that pass that ends up in the third row, and the two players kind of look at each other, and one says, "I thought you were going to go right," and the other says, "I thought you were going to pass left." So there you go. Still a 2-point game. 36-34. It does feel like Lynchburg's lost a little bit of that momentum they were building, though, especially with all those chances that Randolph-Macon had. Drive from Juliana Park. Sturdy defense there on the back line by Olivia Harris. Like what Olivia Harris has done defensively in this one. Darcy Ross checking in the ball game. Bree Spainhour out for Lynchburg. Lynchburg trying to make a point to get more paint touches offensively. It looks like they're making a point to defend the lane a little bit better too. Yeah, there it is. Rejection from Letty Michael. It was right there at the edge of the low block. Impressive stuff. Lynchburg has made a commitment to keeping Randolph-Macon out of the lane. Partial deflection. Smith will turn at the buzzer, and that is a violation on the shot clock. So multiple instances in the last few minutes where the shot clock has really run down, and Lynchburg has defended it well. 5-minute media timeout here in the third quarter. We've got ourselves a 2-point game. Yellow Jackets up by a deuce over Lynchburg. You're watching it all on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the athletic training laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom, and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic and Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice and into the game as soon as possible. As an athletic training student,
Randolph-Macon 36, Lynchburg 34. Hornets 1-5 in ODAC play. Randolph-Macon undefeated at 5-0. So on paper, it would certainly be an upset, but at times it hasn't felt that way for Lynchburg. Ball nearly lost by the Hornets. Back to that great pressuring defense from Randolph-Macon. Man-to-man. Some of the coaches in the women's game prefer to say player-to-player, person-to-person. Whatever your preference is, it is stingy from Randolph-Macon. They hold teams to right at 50 points per game. Darcy Ross will get the friendly members bounce to go, and we are tied. 36 apiece between the Jackets and the Hornets. There was a situation, a role reversal. That time it was Lynchburg scrambling late in the shot clock. Darcy Ross with probably not the first choice of a shot, but we know she's got that mid-range. Knocked down another one earlier. Lynchburg with a chance to seize the lead. Would be the first one since the first part of quarter number 1. Down to 4 minutes exactly in the third. High post handoff option. Ross keeps it. Now it's Olivia Harris driving. Foot slid a little bit. She pushed one to the rim. It's no good. Randolph-Macon continues to be good on the glass. They won the rebounding battle in half number 1, 26-13. Plus 13 in the first half on the glass for Randolph-Macon. We'll check that when we get into the fourth quarter here. Harris with the rebound on the run. She got left wide open. Warm-up three there from Olivia Harris that she would love to have back. Still knotted, fast break. That ball bounced off the foot of Byers, and Lynchburg will pick it up. Both teams look to be a little gassed. The Brandstatter will step on the gas anyway, now tapping the brakes to let everybody catch their breath, and Lynchburg will get into one of their offensive sets. Handoff in the corner to Harris. Swings it to the other corner. Letty Michael had a three-pointer blocked. Just took too long to develop, and it was a good quick closeout from Byers. I don't think either team's fitness is in question, but you could tell in this sequence right here, it's lacked some of the oomph, as both teams, I think, are just a little bit tired. Knockdown jumper there from Byers. Sophomore connecting to give Randolph-Macon a 2-point advantage again. Letty Michaels working on the far sideline, getting the instructions from Coach Nichols. Michaels will take the keys at the top of the lane. Kaysen came off the screen. Now step back, fire. That was an air ball. Payson hit the 4 3-pointers that really was the consistent scoring option in half number 1 for Lynchburg. But she can't make that one from straight away, 23 feet. Subs in for both squads, including Casey Kelly and Macy Mullins for Lynchburg. Jane Elkins back out there. Elkins and Park are both in the game. Kick ball from Harris. That one went into the stands with some velocity there. That could have hurt, but it's okay. It's just a reset for Randolph-Macon. Looks like they'll get it on the baseline. See how Lynchburg defends this. Actually, don't try to go inside. They send it to Park in the deep left corner. Now Elkins looking around. Floor unbalanced here for Randolph-Macon. Attacking drive from Bella Bruce, stalled out. Olivia Harris running a modified fast break. Now she'll flip a short pass to Macy Mullins. Back to Harris at the top of the key. Gonna work off the screen. Step back 3 coming, and that's short there. Lynchburg's been short on the last couple. And I said they look tired. Sometimes not quite having the legs will cause that, but hard to always do that cause and effect and attribute that to the fitness. Sometimes you just miss. Sometimes you miss short. It's basketball. Jackets by 2 in a sequence here where the scoring is really slowed down. But it's been a good quarter for Lynchburg. It's a 10-4 quarter for the Hornets right now. Kate Velez going to step to the free throw line right after getting fouled by Letty Michael. Her first personal, Lynchburg's second in quarter 3. 92 seconds left to play in the third frame. Velez sinks the first. This fourth quarter is going to be very interesting, though. If you're Lynchburg, you've been trying to go inside. You've been trying to find something other than the three-point shot. We know Lynchburg's great at that. They take just shy of 25 threes per game. So in the fourth quarter, do you just hang your hat on that, or do you try to go inside? Aggressive athletic move by Casey Kelly. She'll get whistled for a traveling violation. Making basketball by 4. 40-36, Bree Spainhour's back in the game for Lynchburg. Guarding Jane Elkins. It's been a fun matchup to watch. Spainhour's got a couple fouls. Lynchburg forcing Randolph-Macon to work a lot more offensively in this third quarter. They've kept them out of the paint. Drive there from Velez. Good jump pass. Traveling violation on Bella Bruce. We've said that quite a bit. And I mentioned the referees. Each individual referee has things they watch a bit more and focus on. And then each crew will have things that they focus on a bit more. That's an interesting piece of the game. Haven't seen too much complaining, though, from either side, really. Credit our coaches, credit our officials for that. I think they've done a great job. Spainhour missed. Casey Kelly tied up the Yellow Jackets. Kate Velez, yes. I think it was Kate Velez. Either way, the possession arrow is going to give it back to Lynchburg. Macon still winning that rebounding battle, 35-20. Ball got knocked out of play. Another occasion where Lynchburg having to work so hard to get it inbounds against that stingy player-to-player defense from Randolph-Macon. It's been impressive the way Macon has taken away Lynchburg's baseline inbound plays. Said it once, but a lot of times for basketball teams, those are scoring opportunities. Coaches kind of go mad scientists in the lab, drawing up those baseline inbound plays on the blackboard, chalkboard, whatever. But Randolph-Macon has not only taken away the scoring avenues, but they've made it difficult for Lynchburg just to get the ball in play. No 5-second violations on the inbounds yet. There's been some close ones, and then Lynchburg has had times where they've lost it after getting it in. Park will turn and shoot on Casey Kelly. No good, got her own rebound. Tight defense from Casey Kelly. I think you like that if you're the Hornets. And there's another foul that maybe you don't hate. You know, that was part of the game plan at halftime. Macon was scoring inside. Some more aggression, more effort. You're probably okay with a few more fouls when you're trying to keep them out of the lane. Lynchburg will make it work right there. Spainhour stepped in front, and then Letty Michael took away the loose ball. Down to 4 seconds. Harris sees the clock, wants to drive, baseline. Shot was blocked. Randolph-Macon won't have time to beat the buzzer. So after 3, it is a 4-point ball game. Randolph-Macon 40, Lynchburg 36. We're back in just a moment with a brand new segment on LHSN. This is going to be fun. Stick around, basketball fans.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique. Their background and their passion for teaching.
It's a new year, so it's time for new things. We're calling this the Mets Minute with Sydney Metz, who is working the camera for us tonight on LHSN. But Metz, you're also a broadcaster yourself. You got out there on some soccer games this fall. Give us your quick take. The Mets Minute. It can be longer than 60 seconds if it needs to be, Sydney. But yeah, what do you think about the first 3 quarters? Good ball game.
Yeah, Kyle, I think it's an interesting perspective to have coming from camera to hopping on a broadcast real quick. It's interesting when you work a camera during games, too, is you don't really get to see the score. So you watch a lot of the possession game from that little screen, just kind of going back and forth. So it's interesting to watch. And my perspective thus far in the game is, it's the first half of it was Macon was kind of dominating there, but coming back, it seems that it's 50-50. One gets the ball, the other one's getting the rebound right away. So definitely a better second half, and I think this fourth quarter is definitely going to be a dogfight.
Well, and your perspective as a field hockey player also applies here. You got to dig really deep if you're Lynchburg in this fourth quarter, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
She's running the camera and doing the headset. So we'll find a good place, a stopping place for you to take the headset off. But
oh yeah,
it's looking good right now. Here comes a long one up, and Lynchburg will get the rebound. Sayer Brandstatter getting in the fire there to pull that one free for Lynchburg. Up ahead to Sammy Sever. Harris has got an open 3. No good. Macon on the defensive glass again, and there's a foul on Bree Spainhour. But, yeah, I mean, just as an athlete from this perspective, this is kind of what you live for, right? A close game where you can really maybe, I don't want to say become a legend, but do something great down the stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. I know just from close games in field hockey, we're not high scoring at all, so it's a lot of that back and forth of 1-0 games, 2-0 games, or 1-1. So just this fourth quarter is really big, I think, in any sport. This is the only time that you can really win the ball game, we'll say, in this case, is really in this fourth quarter, and especially with how close it is right now, it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top.
Great stuff. Sydney Metz, we'll let you focus on the camera work. That was fun. We'll keep that going for as long as we can. The Mets Minute, it'll be back. Might not always be at the start of the fourth quarter. We would just throw it in at random times. But Jane Elkins with another bucket there puts Randolph-Macon up 6. But watch out. There goes Brooke Kaysen from downtown, her 5th three-pointer of the game. Lynchburg within 3. Knocked down offensively there. I believe it's going to be an illegal screen on Jane Elkins. No, Juliana Park, I beg your pardon. That is Park's second, team's first this third quarter. So we're 1 minute and 20 seconds into quarter number 4. Lynchburg is within 3 again. A three-pointer away from tying. Brandstatter will try it right here, and she got it. Sayer Brandstatter, bullseye from the left sideline for 3, and we are knotted at 42. What a fight back from Lynchburg. Down 8 at half. Never really looked like they were out of it by any means, but Macon was just so good defensively. How about that? What anything you can do, I can do better. As Juliana Park nails the triple, Macon back up 3. Timeout on the court. We'll take a few moments to catch a breather. Randolph-Macon 45, Lynchburg 42 on LHSN.
My name is Alexis Fabula. I major in criminology and I double minor in psychology and criminal forensics. My favorite part about Lynchburg is the friends that I've come to have. It's helped me come out of my shell more, and it's helped me become the person I am and the student I am. I really enjoyed how small the campus was, and I also really enjoy how small the class sizes are. It made me feel like I was going to be more engaged than I would at a bigger campus. If someone was on the fence of coming to the University of Lynchburg, I would definitely love to sit down and have a conversation with them, because I'm forever grateful that I made this choice. It's definitely something that a student wouldn't regret. Out of my 4 years here, I've not had one bad experience. I've had a great 4 years, and I'm going to be very sad to go.
The teams trade three-pointers, and Randolph-Macon is back up 3, 45-42. We were tied up briefly at 42 apiece. That was actually our first tie of the game, unless you count the 0-0 tie that you start with. Great stuff here inside Turner. I think both teams should feel good about where they're at. Bree Spainauer will run over the defender and then slam the basketball, and the official did not like that. Technical foul assessed to Bree Spainauer. It was a good job by Jane Elkins to do that classic defensive move and cut off the baseline. And I think either team has an opinion on the call, but it will be a technical foul. And it looks like number 23, Marissa Ziegler, to shoot for Randolph-Macon. So here's a sequence that could come back to haunt Lynchburg potentially. Still got a lot of ball game left, but now it is a 4-point basketball game. And a 5-point now because Ziegler knocks down both. Scoreboard said, yep, there we go. Just saw the change there. 47-42, Macon by 5. Big defensive possession coming for Lynchburg. Still in the game, still very much in the ball game, down by 5. But down 5 sounds a lot better than down 7 or 8. Here's Park driving. It's Ziegler on the turnaround. Brandstatter went for the steal and then ends up committing the foul as she ran up the calf and back of number 1, Sam Smith. Another foul that I think you don't hate if you're Lynchburg coach Allison Nichols. Worth gambling to try to get the steal right there. And then when Brandstatter couldn't come up with that, she just ended up being in a bad spot as Smith really got there first. Ooh, pretty creative inbound play there to spring Juliana Park and throw it in long from the right sideline down to the left low post. Lynchburg is down 7 now. Critical with 7.5 left. Olivia Harris dotting the I from outside on the step back triple. Big time there for Lynchburg, and another timeout on the court. 49-45. Let's just keep it right here at the moment. I think we've taken enough timeout breaks here. 49-45. Lynchburg with a big shot right there from Olivia Harris. They've been getting it done from outside. That is Lynchburg's 10th three-pointer of the game. 10 for 26 from long distance for Lynchburg. That's 38.5%, which feels pretty great. Their season average is right at 30.9, just a shade under 31%. So they're over that, and that's back to that question that I asked in the third quarter, basketball fans. If you're Lynchburg, do you just hang your hat on the three-pointers and hope you can stay hot enough? You know you're not going to make all of them down the stretch, but if you can make half of them, does that give you the necessary edge in this ball game? I think that's a tough balance right now for Coach Allison Nichols. And then you've got to try to relay that to your team as far as what you're looking for as a coach in that timeout huddle. Certainly, I think she'd be happy with any open threes. Randolph-Macon, I really think they're going to force Lynchburg to work long into the shot clock. And we've seen Lynchburg at times kind of try to ambush the Macon defense, meaning that shoot early in the 30-second shot clock, really maybe before Macon's defense is completely set or with that heightened awareness potentially. And then at other times, the Yellow Jacket defense has just been so good that Lynchburg has had to use the entire shot clock just to get an open look. Lynchburg has done that as well, though. Their defensive effort has been outstanding in half number 2. It has really picked up. Much better job keeping Randolph-Macon out of the paint. Saw it right there from Sayer Brandstatter. Cut off the drive from Sam Smith, and it leads to a turnover. Brooke Kaysen dribbling down just left of center, turns around and sends it back near the midcourt stripe to Sayer Brandstatter. Darcy Ross wants to hand to Sever. Sammy Sever for 3. Too strong. Battle on the rebound. Brandstatter couldn't get there. Her point guard counterpart, Sam Smith, took it away. Those were our 2 players to watch in the pregame. I think they've lived up to a lot of the hype. That's been a good battle to watch right here. Brandstatter guarding Smith, working through the screen. Smith driving, got underneath. Pass taken away by Sammy Sever. Great defense there, first by Brandstatter and then by Sammy Sever. Now you get to watch the battle on the other end as Brandstatter will try to jumpstart the Lynchburg offense. Hands to Olivia Harris. Macon switching on the screen there, and it's a foul on the point guard, number 1, Sam Smith. That is Smith's second, team's third. 6:26 left to play in the fourth quarter. 49-45. So a lot of basketball still, but I would argue every possession critical at this point. See some patience here developing for Lynchburg. Uh-oh, Brandstatter lost it. Classic pickpocket thievery from Byers, and then Byers couldn't convert. Ziegler with a look, and that's taken away. Good job by Lynchburg to hustle back and tidy up the workspace there and avoid giving up some points. Brooke Kaysen, that one was well wide off the hand. Great attempt on the save by Olivia Harris. She couldn't get there in time. 49-45. Macon by 4. Under 6 to play. Each team with 3 timeouts at their disposal. Lynchburg has committed 4 fouls. The next infraction puts Randolph-Macon in the 2-shot bonus. Fairly patient possession here from the Yellow Jackets. Why wouldn't they want to take some time with the 4-point lead? Here's Elkins, post moves, turns. Good footwork there, and the kick-out pass to Park. Lined it up nicely, good rotation, but too strong. Olivia Harris on the rebound. Harris has had a great game for Lynchburg. Hesitation move, lost the handle, but was able to offload just in the nick of time to Sayer Brandstatter. Brandstatter will reset some things. Palm to the ground. Darcy Ross, right high post. Driving on Elkins, wants to score, traveling violation. Many of those tonight. Gotta check the stat sheet. I mean, we've got turnovers on the stats. Looks like right now the teams are actually Lynchburg just with 1 more, 18-17. Lynchburg has turned it over 18 times. But the stats don't differentiate between traveling violations. I think we're close to double digits between the 2 squads now. Officials definitely keeping a keen eye on the footwork tonight. Rhythm 3, good closeout by Olivia Harris. Foul on the rebound. Brooke Kaysen got into the body of Byers there. And that's 5 on Lynchburg. Byers to the line right to shoot 2. Bree Spainhour back in the game for Lynchburg. She joins Letty Michael, Brooke Kaysen, Sayer Brandstatter, and Olivia Harris. So really 5 outside shooting threats for Lynchburg right now. Not the tallest lineup they can go with, obviously. But I think Lynchburg's checked that box as far as trying to keep Randolph-Macon out of the paint as much as possible. Lynchburg has been rebounding better. And certainly when you have somebody like Sayer Brandstatter, who leads the team in rebounding, she's a great rebounding guard. You could make the same case for Olivia Harris and Brooke Kaysen and Letty Michael as well. Here's Bree Spainhour. Free throw line, driving, lane line left, hesitation, went up, traveling violation. It is not a broken record. It is another whistle and another turnover. Lynchburg down 5. Back in that danger zone again. Being down 5, much more manageable than 7 or 9. What a takeaway from Brooke Kaysen. Just came from behind on the low post entry. Perfect timing, perfectly played. A steal to get Lynchburg an opportunity. Brandstatter scans the floor, got to the left elbow. Hits Harris going over the top. Good sportsmanship there by Harris to help up Byers as the ball spills out of play. Lynchburg will reset, baseline left, down by 5. Just over 4 to play in the fourth quarter. 4 quarters may end up not being enough for these two squads. Lynchburg has won 2 in a row. Randolph-Macon has won 2 in a row, but they haven't played since December 17th. Sayer Brandstatter, bingo from the left corner. Lynchburg down 3. Called that a long 2, 50-47. Under 4 to play. They force Elkins to catch further out, and it ends up leading to a turnover. Spainauer stingy inside, and then the takeaway from Olivia Harris. Brandstatter tried to bounce to Bree Spainauer, and there's another foul on Bree Spainauer as he tried to chase the basketball back from Jane Elkins. Elkins will shoot 2. That's 5 on Bree Spainauer. Spainauer's night is done early. I'll actually call that an offensive foul, so it will not be a shooting situation. Darcy Ross inserted in the game. Coach Lindsey Burke for Randolph-Macon is arguing it should be a shooting foul. 50-47, Lynchburg down by 3. Defending the basket to our right in the home whites. Lynchburg has won 3 out of their last 5. Big scores in their last 2 games against Wilson and North Carolina Wesleyan. History-making day against Wilson. Lynchburg won that 104-46. Turned around less than 24 hours later and beat Wesleyan by 30. And how about a 3 from Brooke Kaysen? A 3-point party inside Turner has got Lynchburg tied with Randolph-Macon 50 apiece with 3:13 left to play in quarter number 4. Timeout on the court, timeout right here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
Look what you're missing.
It really don't matter to me, I'm just happy to be here, I might go crazy.
Have a night to remember. Brooke Kaysen, 18 points on 6 3-pointers. Those are career highs for Brooke Kaysen, and they have come at exactly the right time. Her entire floor game has been solid. 3 or 4 blocks, rebounding. Just a real coming out party for the sophomore, Brooke Kaysen, who are my great friend Tim LeDuc and I were talking about before the game, talking about how underrated she is. Sneaky good. Great defense inside by Letty Michael. Lynchburg with a chance to take the lead. Brooke Kaysen gonna try another that skips off the front of the rim. No good. Rebounded, one and done. Juliana Park with a good job to get on the ladder and take it out of the sky for Randolph-Macon. That felt dangerous for the Yellow Jackets, and it does feel like Lynchburg has some momentum right now. Hornets need a stop. We're tied 50-50. Elkins going to drive on Ross. Now backs it out. Look at the handle from Elkins. 16-footer on the way. No good. There's Brooke Kaysen in the right area again with a rebound, and she just hands it off to Sayer Brandstatter. 2:05 remaining in quarter number 4. And if you're Randolph-Macon, you better know where Brooke Kaysen is at all times. I think that message was already clear after half number 1, but it has been reiterated by their coach, Lindsey Burke. Darcy Ross can't get it to go from the left low post. We're down to 1:45 left to play in quarter number 4. I said 4 quarters might not be enough. Randolph-Macon has 1 overtime game this season. I think they're 1-0 in overtime games. Here's a drive and kind of a wild one thrown up by Kate Velez. Got into the body of Olivia Harris. That's a foul. 2 shots coming up for junior Kate Velez. 90 seconds left to play, and the game hanging completely in the balance. Kate Velez will give Randolph-Macon the slimmest of basketball leads, 51-50. Second one coming up. On court for Lynchburg, Letty Michael, Sayer Brandstatter, Brooke Kaysen, Darcy Ross, and Olivia Harris. Full court player-to-player coverage. Sam Smith will back off slightly and let Brandstatter get across the timeline. One-hand bounce right side to Olivia Harris. She'll work off the high ball screen. Three ball coming. Hit really just the front of the rim and went straight down. Another one and done that time for Lynchburg. They might need an offensive rebound if they want to get back in this thing. Brandstatter just kind of tied up Jane Elkins. Don't think it was an intentional foul. I think Brandstatter just kind of got in a spot where she felt that was the best play, just to sort of put the shackles on Elkins and make sure she didn't get an and one three-point play. So 2 free throws coming from Elkins, who has been outstanding. She was a little quiet in the third quarter. I think you got to give Lynchburg some credit for maybe adjusting the defense slightly and forcing her away from the basket more. We've seen her have to catch outside the paint a little bit more. Elkins knocks down both. Her good night continues. It might be just enough for Randolph-Macon as they go up 4, 54-50. We were tied at 42-42 and then tied again at 50 apiece. Lynchburg hasn't led since the first quarter. Brandstatter, lane line left, rim run. And she'll go to the line and shoot 2. Well, every possession is critical, but every free throw is going to be critical from down the stretch, because if you're Randolph-Macon, you're trying to extend or hold on to your lead. If you're Lynchburg, you got to score without the clock moving. Brandstatter will do that there. Nice one. No rim, all net on that first freebie attempt. 54-51. Brandstatter makes both. Timeout on the court. Believe Randolph-Macon took it. We'll step aside for a breather as well. Jackets lead by 2, 54-52 over the Hornets on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
Lynchburg is all about you, your ideas, and your goals. We've got one professor for every 10 students, so you can get all the support you need. In the classroom, in the lab, or in nature, you'll learn by putting yourself out there, and we're right there with you.
Lynchburg last led when it was 8-7 back in the first quarter. Statistically, Randolph-Macon has led 75% of this ball game. In spite of that, Lynchburg not out of it by any means. Brandstatter went for another steal. Smith, the point guard, will secure it. Yo-yo dribble now flips left side. They'll go top of the key to Elkins. Right wing, this is Ziegler. Hands off to Smith. A little bit of a stall ball game here from Randolph-Macon. Leading by 2. Elkins will set the screen. Drive from Byers, no good. Rebounded by Olivia Harris. Down to 26 seconds. Shot clock is off. Lynchburg down by 2. Harris driving, scoops and scores. We are tied again. 54-54 with 19.3 left. Timeout on the court by Randolph-Macon. We will keep it right here. What a basket from Olivia Harris. Don't think that was a set play or a called situation. I think Olivia Harris just saw the seam in the defense, attacked, went to the right side of the rim, and scored it. That is huge for Lynchburg. And we are tied again, 54-54. Possession arrow favoring Lynchburg. Both teams have 2 timeouts at their disposal. 19.3 seconds left. Shot clock will be off. If you're Randolph-Macon in a tie game, some coaches will favor running the clock all the way down and trying to shoot at the buzzer to not leave your opponent any time on a miss to get a buzzer beater of their own. Some coaches will say, hey, you got to get one up early and try to get the offensive rebound. Randolph-Macon's been great on the glass. Down to 15 seconds left. Coming down to the very end. Macon does look like they're going to hold to the buzzer here. Ziegler driving, Elkins for the 2, in and out. It rolled all around the rim, but would not drop in the netting for the sophomore. And Lynchburg's defense holds another timeout on the court with 4.7 seconds left. 54-54. We're staying here again during this timeout break to talk about some potential strategy. Lynchburg should be able to advance to half court here after the timeout. We've said, though, Randolph-Macon's defense, it is so good and so tight that just getting the ball in play is not always easy. So that's job number one for Lynchburg. You got to get it in and start a possession. I think if you're the Hornets, obviously you don't need a 3, but the other side of that coin is really the three-pointer seems to be the most consistent scoring option right now. Maybe you have a two-way option if you're Lynchburg on the inbound. Certainly you've practiced these late-game situation plays a ton. You've got baseline inbound plays and sideline inbound plays, which it'll be in this case, sideline inbound plays in your file folder that you can go to. And Coach Nichols will just remind everybody on the whiteboard over there of what the setup is. You assume Macon's going to be in their player-to-player defense. Brandstetter to inbounds, needs somewhere to go. Finds Brooke Kaysen. Kaysen fouled. And Randolph-Macon committing the intentional foul there. Because they've only committed 3, Lynchburg doesn't shoot. That's 4. That's 4. So Macon can't foul again. They can, but they would risk giving up free throws. Olivia Harris trying to pop free. They do get it into Harris. Harris, tight cover. Kaysen catches at the buzzer for 3. It was partially blocked, and we are going to overtime. 4 quarters, not enough inside Turner tonight. 54-54. We've got an overtime session coming up in just a second on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
Think a private education is too expensive? Think again. At the University of Lynchburg, you can get a personalized education for the cost of a state school. If you're commuting and you get our top scholarships, you could pay much less. And you get all that without the hassle of giant lecture halls. Our faculty know your name here and do more than just teach. You might even do research together and plan out your next career moves.
Bonus basketball. What a way to start the new year, Hoops fans. Our first LHSN broadcast of 2024. We need more in 2024. We need more of this. 54-54. We're at jump circle again. Lynchburg will get that. Not without a fight, though. Everything has come at a heavy cost tonight. I think both teams have really laid it all out there. Letty Michael on the floor to pick up an errant pass. Lynchburg fortunate to hang on to the possession there. 5-minute overtime period. Here's Olivia Harris. She hit the driving layup to tie things up at 54 apiece. She'll try a 3, rolled all around but wouldn't fall. Letty Michael with an offensive rebound. Letty Michael will offload to Brooke Kaysen. Brooke Kaysen has hit 6 times from beyond the three-point arc. Brooke Kaysen's going to earn herself some kind of nickname with the three-point shooting prowess. Brandstetter couldn't finish from the left side. Both teams had good defensive stands at the end of regulation. Randolph-Macon got the basketball back with 19.3 seconds left. Couldn't score. Lynchburg got a rebound. They had 4.7. Brooke Kaysen got off a partially blocked three-pointer. Here's a steal. Letty Michael featuring heavily for Lynchburg. Michael hasn't scored, I don't think. She's been all over the glass. Defensively, he's been sound. 3:45 left to play. Minute and 15 gone already in an overtime that's probably going to fly by. No overtime games this season for Lynchburg. Mentioned Randolph-Macon is 1-0 in overtime. Olivia Harris missed a shot but committed a traveling violation before she even released it. And that is double-digit traveling violations between the two teams now. 3:35 left to play in overtime. 54-54. Yeah, stay plugged in to the Lynchburg Sports website. Sign up for those email updates and the social media, and you'll make sure you never miss any of the exciting action like this. You can read the recap for this game and the box score, and it's going to be really, really cool to check out. Spin move inside from Elkins. Can't finish with her left. She's got her own rebound. Put it back up with the right, and that is good. First points on the board in OT. Randolph-Macon leads 56-54. Brandstetter will hand off to Brooke Kaysen. Here's Sammy Sever. Sever's going to try to turn the corner and get downhill. Stalled out, passes back to Brooke Kaysen. Clock at 10. Harris thinks about the three, now pulls. Off the iron, no good. Not an offensive foul, rather a foul on the rebound on the box out. That is on number 23, Marissa Ziegler, her second. It is the team's fifth. And Sarah Brandstetter will shoot two. She made two free throws down the stretch for Lynchburg to keep them in the mix. It's a game that, again, according to the stat-keeping software, Randolph-Macon has led 75% of the game. Lynchburg last led at 8-7 in the first quarter. And we've been tied a couple times. We're tied again, 56-56. Remember, it was a 54-all tie at the end of regulation. Hornets are defending the basket to our right in their man-to-man coverage. It's a tie-up from Sammy Sever. Possession arrow is going to favor Randolph-Macon, but because of the alternating possession, that could be big right there. Good job by Sever to come in. It was kind of a half-hearted double team initially, and then I think Sammy Sever realized, hey, I can get the ball out of this. Didn't quite get that, but it does force Randolph-Macon to inbound. And there's another one of those traveling violations. That was Juliana Park. Lynchburg ball, they're going to face some full court coverage. Brandstetter looking around, unbothered, unhurried. Now she'll step on the gas slightly to get into the front court left. Harris pops free, right wing, 2:10 left to play. Sever, left wing now driving, picks up the dribble, needs somewhere to go. That's Darcy Ross, who hands it to Sarah Brandstetter. Grad student, played 91 games at Roanoke. She's been in some tight contests. She'll go to the rim and get fouled. Sarah Brandstetter to the line to shoot two with 1:58 left to play in quarter, not quarter anymore, overtime. Brandstetter has made her last 4 in a row. Lynchburg's gone with this lineup for a while. Coach Allison Nichols hasn't gone to the bench much here in the fourth quarter and in overtime. Brandstetter at the line, missed the first, rolled the second one around and off. There's another one of those jump ball tie-ups, and the possession arrow does now give it to Lynchburg. So it was big. Lynchburg leads, by the way, 57-56. First lead since the first quarter when it was 8-7. See if they can build on it. Brandstetter into Kaysen, gives it right back. Now Brandstetter wants to go to the perimeter and set up an offensive sequence. Harris, hesitation and then driving. And that's a foul on Juliana Park. Nice job by Olivia Harris. Good basketball IQ to sense that it was Juliana Park who got slid over on the coverage and to try to attack the basket. And you do it by going through that defender's outside shoulder. Good feel there from Olivia Harris. Misses the first free throw. Lynchburg by 1, 57-56. We said free throws would be critical. I think every basketball fan knows that, especially in a tight game. And it can just make them even harder to make when the pressure's on you out there. Nothing free about those from the charity line with the spotlight on you in a tight game. Harris makes one of two. 58-56. Hornets by two. Brandstatter nearly got a fingertip on a pass. This is Sam Smith, freshman guard, probing, slashing, and trying to score, but getting fouled. Number 1, Sammy Smith, the freshman from Chesterfield, will step to the line right with a chance to tie the game, or at least cut into the Lynchburg lead. Third foul on Brooke Kaysen. And both teams are in the penalty over 5 fouls now. Have been. But worth mentioning again here as Smith misses the first free throw. Olivia Harris at the timeline for Lynchburg. Around the lane, it's Brandstatter, Sever, Kaysen, Darcy Ross. Great minutes in this game for Darcy Ross. She's been pretty good in the second half. Again, not going to see a ton of stats from Darcy Ross, but I would argue she's been a big part of this comeback for Lynchburg, and she's been out there quite a bit since halftime. Harris will circle the D, left wing, now working around the Ross screen. Harris eyeing the rim, bounces to Ross, chest pass back to Kaysen. That was partially blocked. Scramble for the basketball, out of bounds as Juliana Park did her best to keep it in play. 20 seconds on the clock here for Lynchburg, 1:02 remaining in overtime number 1. 58-57, Lynchburg by 1. Officials, I think, they're going to change the shot clock back to 7. I'm going to say that 7 on the clock now for Lynchburg. It changes your thought process a bit. Harris fumbled it, tried to slap it off of Kate Velez. Couldn't do it. Yellow Jackets have 60 seconds left. It's a 1-point game. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty again. 4 quarters wasn't enough. Is 1 OT going to be enough? Smith driving. Good job to wall up by Olivia Harris, and it forces Smith into another one of those traveling violations that we have seen so much of in this game. Can't say enough good things about Olivia Harris's defense in this one. And Lynchburg really defensively from halftime on. There were some shaky moments in the first half for sure, but from halftime on, the commitment to the defensive side has been there. Sever spinning around, looking for help. Finds that in the form of number 5, Sarah Brandstatter. 1-4 high set coming for Lynchburg. Brandstatter wanted the right wing handoff. Instead, she'll retreat again. Shot clock down to 7. Brandstatter knows. Scoop lay-in try, no good. Sammy Sever's got a rebound. Shot clock is off. 15 seconds left to play. Lynchburg by 1, and there's the intentional foul by Byers. Great job by Lynchburg to run a bunch of time off the clock. And they lead by 1 with a chance to get a much-needed cushion. Perhaps some separation from the free throw line if Sammy Sever can knock down one or both. Sammy Sever played 11 games on Lynchburg's ODAC championship team back in 2021. Sever's been in some clutch moments. She's been injured for some of her career, but Sammy Sever delivering right there does provide Lynchburg with a little separation. Up by 2, 59-57. Let's stay here. We've got 13 and a half ticks left in overtime. Situation is simple for Randolph-Macon. You got to have a basket. Back to the different coaching strategies. Some coaches will say, let's get it in quick and go for an early 2. Drive the basket, have your kick-out options available, probably in the corners for 3-pointers. And we'll try to win the game that way. If you're head coach Allison Nichols and her assistant Whitney Hobson, you're probably expecting that. You're telling your team to take away that avenue early if possible. And if you're Lynchburg, a foul would put Randolph-Macon at the free throw line. 59-57. Lynchburg with a 2-point lead. We were tied at 54 apiece after regulation. The overtime period was as exciting as the third and fourth quarters. Lynchburg with some great halftime adjustments, I thought, to get themselves back in the game. Hornets trailed 34-26 at halftime. Don't think they ever fell down more than 10 in this game. So it's not like Lynchburg was ever out of the game, but a really good second half fight back. Okay, here comes Randolph-Macon. Let's see what they go to early. Juliana Park might be the premier scoring option, number 35. They'll go into Kate Velez. Inside, it goes to Park. Turn around, hook shot, scores it with 8.8 seconds left. Juliana Park, the junior, hits a big shot. They did go inside early. Wasn't really a drive and kick situation like I was maybe trying to figure. But Juliana Park with a big basket to tie the ball game up at 59 apiece. So this is somewhat like the end of regulation. Randolph-Macon had the first chance with 19.3 seconds left. They didn't score. Lynchburg got the ball back at the end of regulation with 4.5 seconds. 4.7, I think it was. They did not score. We go to overtime. Tie ball game. Lynchburg has 8.8 seconds left. Any basket would win it for you probably if you're Lynchburg, assuming you don't score really, really early and give Randolph-Macon a chance at a buzzer beater. On court for the Hornets, same five they've run with, I believe, the entire OT. Brandstatter, Ross, Harris, Sever, and Kaysen. Sarah Brandstatter's got to get it in. Bounces to Brooke Kaysen, and she lost it. She lost the handle, and Randolph-Macon is going to have a chance at a buzzer beater. Wow. Another timeout on the court. 7.5 seconds left in OT. Randolph-Macon will have a chance to advance in the front court. And if you're Coach Lindsey Burke for the Yellow Jackets, you're probably thinking, let's just run the same play that we just scored on and tied the game up at 59 apiece. That was an inbound to Velez, who hit Park in the paint with basically a one-on-one post matchup. Brooke Kaysen, you have got to feel for her right now. Normally some of the surest hands on the team, but that one went through her mitts. Lynchburg wouldn't be in this spot if it wasn't for Brooke Kaysen and 6 3-pointers. She would love to have that one back, though. Okay, Lynchburg defending the basket to our right. Here's the inbounds to Smith. Brandstatter, top of the key. Kaysen tried to steal it away. Shot up at the 2-second mark. No good. There's the buzzer. We're going to double overtime. We are going to double OT. 59-59. Tie ball game inside Turner. What a way to start the brand new year. Don't miss the conclusion of this one, Hoops fans. We're coming back in 60 seconds on LHSN.
Want to have some outdoor adventures while getting a degree at the same time? At the University of Lynchburg, we have an on-campus zip line and road course. Plus, we offer adventure trips that cost less than a cup of coffee. And did I mention our beautiful scenery? We're a university for students looking for something more than just books. Welcome to your new adventure experience.
Bonus basketball, again, a second overtime period. Put 5 more minutes on the board inside Turner, and we're at jump circle again. Ball in the air. Darcy Ross didn't really get the full handful, but it goes to Sarah Brandstatter, and Lynchburg will start the second overtime with possession. 59-59. Yellow Jackets got a pretty good look, but Lynchburg's defense holds. Woo! Brandstatter with about a 40-foot cross-court pass into the deep right corner for Sammy Sever. Now it's Olivia Harris, who has been great in the second half, in overtime. Brandstatter, oh, she was just stepping to the rim and got fouled again. Brandstatter has found a way to get to the free throw line quite a bit for her ball club. Both teams scored 5 points in the overtime period, the first overtime period. Lynchburg 12 of 20 from the charity line, 60%. Brandstatter missed that one, so the percentage will fall slightly. Second one good. Randolph-Macon, for reference fans, is 14 of 21 from the free throw line. Macon still holding that big rebounding edge, 48-34, plus 14 in the rebounding margin for the Yellow Jackets. Same 5 for Lynchburg. Looks like Allison Nichols is content to roll with this group right here. This quartet has been really, really good in the fourth quarter and in the first OT. 4:05 left to play in overtime number 2. Park with a weird shot that got a really nice carom and went down. Juliana Park, I think she's got 22 of Randolph-Macon's 61, and the Jackets lead again, 61-60. Letty Michael is at the scores table, ready to check in the next dead ball for the home team Hornets, who are clad in their home whites. Scoring on the basket to our left. Sammy Sever, open 3, no good. Rebounded on the run by number 1, Sam Smith. The freshman Smith saunters into the front court, now angles to middle. Wants her team to set up a play. Jackets lead by 1, 61-60. 3:20 left to play. Here's Park trying to turn, got harassed, has the ball back. Brooke Kaysen with just a strip search takeaway. Good job to double Juliana Park inside. Ooh, Sever behind the back, and then the fantastic finish. How good was that in transition, in a crowd, and in a tight game? Sammy Sever puts Lynchburg up by 1 with the handles. 62-61. This had a little bit of everything. It's a fun game right here. We will remember this one for a long time. It's been our best game of the year, no doubt, on LHSN. That's a joke. We're just a few days into the new year. Step back triple try, no good. Brooke Kaysen, right side of the backboard to peel that one off the glass. Lynchburg by 1. Olivia Harris with a hesitation and then heading to the rim. That's a foul. Maybe an injury situation right here. As number 12, Kate Velez, went down. Teammate tried to help her up, and she kind of waved her off. Unfortunate there for Kate Velez late in the game. Injuries unfortunate any time in the game, I guess, right, fans? Maybe more applicable would be unfortunate for Randolph-Macon to lose one of your great players late in the game. Olivia Harris will be at the line left when we return to play. 2:27 left in overtime number 2. We were tied up 54-54. Yeah, sorry, our producer, Catherine, there. She thought we wanted a break. I don't know what we're doing anymore. We've never been to double overtime. No, I mean, I'm sure we have at some point. We got it. That's what we need to do. LHSN Research Department, we got to find out when the last time we had a double overtime game inside Turner was. Kate Velez is going to actually get up and walk off to the sideline on her own 2 feet. So that's good to see. Maybe we will see Kate Velez again before this game ends. 2:27 left to play in 2 OTs. But who knows? Maybe double overtime is not enough. It will be Olivia Harris. Free throw line left to shoot for Lynchburg. And in a game that has had so many big plays, you start forgetting about them. Worth noting that Olivia Harris made the basket that tied the game at 54 for Lynchburg. She makes the first free throw to give the Hornets a little bit of separation again, 63-61. Second one up, rolls around, no good. Fight for the rebound, double team by Michael and Kaysen, jump ball tie up. Excellent job again. The possession arrow does favor Randolph-Macon. So Jackets basketball, that could loom large later on the next one of those tie-ups, which can sometimes be a little bit confusing, that alternating possession rule. In the NBA, you actually do a jump ball, which is fun. 63-61, Lynchburg up by 2. Jackets attacking the hoop to our right in their road black jerseys. Catch and shoot 3, no good. There's Brooke Kaysen again. How good has Brooke Kaysen been on the glass tonight, fans? As good as she's been from three-point, you could make the argument that she has been more valuable to Lynchburg rebounding-wise. Just outstanding stuff. Brooke Kaysen has 9 boards now. Baseline drive from Harris. Overshot the mark. Foul. Let's see who this is on. Is it going to send Olivia Harris to the free throw line again? I think it is. Coming out party tonight for Brooke Kaysen for sure, but maybe a reintroduction to the game of Olivia Harris. Olivia Harris coming into the contest was averaging 18.8 minutes per game, and I say that because that's under half the game. And she had been embracing that bench player role, but after this second half of these 2 overtimes, boy, Olivia Harris, you could argue she needs all the minutes that are available. She makes 2. Lynchburg is up by 4. 65-61. Tip your cap to Olivia Harris and the rest of this Hornet squad. Special emphasis on Brooke Kaysen for sure. 65-61. 90 seconds left. Not panic time at all for Randolph-Macon, but what a steal by Sammy Sever. Another player you cannot leave out in all the big plays, Sammy Sever. Ooh, traveling violation by Letty Michael. Give the officials credit. They have been consistent with that. Not going to stop calling it just because we're in double overtime. Letty Michael just dragged the feet. One of the foot, one of the feet. Grammar, you can't even use proper grammar in a double overtime game. Throw that right out the window. Hesitation move there. Smith couldn't convert from inside. Great move to get to the basket. Park, open 3. Harris came on the closeout. Battle for the rebound, and it's Brandstetter to get it. Under a minute to play now for Lynchburg. They lead by 4. Oh, Smith with the takeaway from behind. Brandstetter couldn't see her in the rear view mirror. Probably when she heard her coming, it was too late. Nice play by Smith. Good feed down low. Knockdown jumper by Byers. Lynchburg by 2. Full court pressure with 40 seconds left to play in the second overtime. Brooke Kaysen nearly lost it. Allison Nichols, the head coach for Lynchburg, sensed that her team was a little out of sorts, and she'll burn a timeout. We will take this timeout. We need a breather. We got to figure it out here. Lynchburg by 2 in double overtime. Don't miss the finish on LHSN. Lynchburg basketball, sideline inbound coming from in front of the scorer's table with 33 seconds left to play. Hornets get it in, they lead by 2. Don't know if it'll be completely stall ball and keep away from Lynchburg. In fact, the shot clock is going to force them to activity here. Down to 7. Harris driving, left hand, scoop finish, she got it. Olivia Harris only has 11 points in this game, but they have all come at monster moments. You would think Olivia Harris has got 30. Shot clock winding down. Give it to the speedy junior and just let her slice and dice the defense. Very, very good stuff from Olivia Harris. Lynchburg 67, Randolph-Macon 63. 4-point lead for Lynchburg. Still not panic time yet for Randolph-Macon. But you got to be asking yourself now for the Yellow Jackets, do they foul after the score? Do you foul immediately on the inbound, or do you try to play defense for a bit, let the clock get inside 10 seconds, maybe foul then? Any missed shot and Lynchburg rebound, I think Macon fouls immediately. Here comes the inbound play. Smith lost it. Smith had it bounce off her left mitt, and that is a turnover. It was another well-designed play for Randolph-Macon. Smith was free. Two-hand overhead pass from the near right sideline by Park was relatively on target, but maybe just slightly behind Smith enough that she could not pull it in completely, and that ball kicks out of bounds. Wow. We mentioned you got a feel for Brooke Kaysen. That was late in regulation when Lynchburg lost a basketball. Got a feel a bit for Smith right there. Actually, I think Brooke Kaysen lost that ball late at the end of overtime 1. We've had so much basketball, it is really hard to keep it all straight. But I think we'll all be going back and watching this one, at least second half and beyond anyway. Lynchburg will get to advance after the timeout. Both teams are out of timeouts. Lynchburg by 4, 17.1 seconds left. Lynchburg will get it inbounds. Smith not going to foul. Harris passes along the near left sideline. Yeah, you hear the coaches yelling out foul. Maybe lost 4 or 5 seconds there. Foul was on Ziegler. Brooke Kaysen at the line to shoot 2 for Lynchburg. Could put Lynchburg up 6 potentially. First one up. The gym went just so quiet. A hush fell over the gym. Brooke Kaysen might have heard me say that. That's how quiet it got inside Turner. 13 seconds left. Kaysen missed the first, made the second. That's big. Lynchburg up 68-63. Down to 10 seconds left. Macon's got to get something up quick, and they can't be too choosy. Left wing 3 coming. No good. High rebound control by Brandstatter. She gets tied up. That'll stop the clock, and that will secure a Lynchburg victory. What a win this is going to be. Lynchburg is going to hand Randolph-Macon their first conference loss. Yellow Jackets came in 8-3, 5-0, undefeated in the ODAC. Lynchburg at 1-5, and yes, it is on paper an upset for sure. And everybody around the basketball world will call it an upset, but when you watch Lynchburg play their A game, you just don't feel that, do you? Lynchburg, this will be win number 3 in a row. A blowout win against Wilson. A 30-point road victory against North Carolina Wesleyan. And now Lynchburg celebrating a home win to start 2024. A double overtime victory. They knock off Randolph-Macon 69-63. Lynchburg had its share of heroes in this one, and we will hear for one or more in an interview that's going to be posted to the Lynchburg social media. But a night to remember. If this is any indication, any kind of an appetizer for what 2024 is going to be like, then buckle up for a wild ride. Hats off to Randolph-Macon for a hard-fought game, well-played game by the Yellow Jackets. They come up short in double overtime. I'm sure Coach Lindsey Burke will rally her troops. Randolph-Macon will be tough for the rest of the season. Best of luck to the Yellow Jackets. But how tough is this Lynchburg team? They're getting better and better. Confidence is at an all-time high for this group. Congratulations to head coach Allison Nichols and her ball club. Got to wrap it up somewhere. You already had some bonus basketball. We don't want to keep you all night, but what a fun night it was. Lynchburg game tied 54 all at the end of regulation. 1 overtime wasn't enough. We needed double OT, and the Hornets win it 69-63. We'll say so long for now, basketball fans, but make sure you stay plugged in. I know you're plugged in already, but stay plugged in to everything Lynchburg Athletics has going on. Just one note about the Lynchburg women's team. They are in action again on Friday on the road at Mary Washington. That is a schedule change. That game was going to be on Saturday, but expecting some possible winter weather in Virginia. So Lynchburg is going to play Friday at Mary Washington. And then the Hornets will be at EMU on January 10th. That's 1 week from today. Lynchburg is back at home against Avert on Saturday, January 13th. So we'll talk to you then. Have a great start to 2024. We'll say goodnight with Lynchburg winning in double overtime, 69-63. Saw it all live on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started